The mob was called it is reported that it was called from the mosques to gather, and these two officers, instead of taking any preventative action, allegedly made provocative speeches in the mass gathering of 2nd June. Looting and arson of villages occurred even after the imposition of a Section 144 curfew at 12 noon. Newspaper sources confirm that there was about 8,000, and police report confirmed that there were 7,000 in the mob, and some of them were armed with knives and sticks, and that some had petrol, indicating that it was a pre-planned attack. And there is a history of attacks in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. Since the 1997 CHTIJAA Accord, which ended over 2 decades of CHT's armed struggle for self-determination, in at least 12 occasions, Bengali settlers had carried out large attacks on Jummo villages. Soon after, Bangladesh government transmigrated 400,000 settlers in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. In May 1989, in Longudu, there was mass killing and arson attack, in which over 30 Jummo were killed by settlers with direct help from military and police. In every occasion, the security forces and local administration, either through direct involvement or tacit support, have continued to leave innocent Jummos without adequate protection from these violent attacks. None of the perpetrators of any of these killings or arson have ever been brought to justice. On 7 June, in the Kagratchuri district, security forces attacked and arrested Hill Women's Federation's peaceful demonstrators who were protesting against the Longudu arson attack and restating their long-standing demand for the arrest of the abductors of Hill Women's Federation leader Kalpana Chakma on 12 June 1996. And yesterday it was 20 years of her abduction, and there is still nothing. Still these perpetrators run free. Our demands: Australian Jummos are calling for the Bangladesh government to carry out an impartial judicial investigation into the killing of Muhammad Nurul Islam Noyon and the subsequent violences against indigenous villagers, including the role of the security forces in order to bring perpetrators to justice. We are also demanding that the Bangladesh government take following measures: immediately provide full compensation and rehabilitation for the Longudu arson victims and ensure their safety and security by preventing the recurrence of violence. Thoroughly investigate and bring perpetrators of all previous atrocities against indigenous peoples in the Chittagong Hill Tracts to justice in order to end the culture of impunity of the security forces, settlers, and others. Stop security forces attacking and arresting peaceful demonstrators, ensuring the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. Lastly, complete the implementation of the 20-year-old CHTIJAA Accord in order to achieve a sustainable peace in the region. Thank you. Now I call on Tonu Murong to read a letter to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh from Bangladesh architects in Australia who expressed their solidarity with Longudu victims and Chittagong Hill Tracts. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobita Di. My name is Tanu Murong. I'm the President of Bangladeshi Architects in Australia. On behalf of the member of the Bangladeshi Architects in Australia, BAA, we are expressing our deep concern about 2nd June of 2017 arson attack on homes of the indigenous Jummo villages at Longudu, Bujila, Rangamati. We condemn this kind of attack over indigenous minority people and urging for an impartial, independent investigation into the attacks to bring those who are responsible to justice. We are also urging for an immediate action to provide full compensation and rehabilitation for the Longudu arsonic victims and ensure their safety and security by preventing the reoccurrence of such violence. Thank you, everyone.
Now I invite Vinota Moithamai of AIPP, Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, to express their solidarity. Thank you. Vinota Moithamai. Come here, Vinota. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's really very pathetic and painful for every one of us. So on behalf of Asia Indigenous Peoples, we fully endorse your demand, and also we are standing with you as part of the solidarity, building the solidarity movement in worldwide for the rights of indigenous peoples. And today we also from here condemn this barbarous attack in Longudu CHT, and thank you.
Now I introduce Obilash Tripura, a coordinator of Chittagong Hill Tracks Jumbo Association Australia, to read a memo to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Raising the concerns of the latter, we'll also hand a letter to the Prime Minister of Australia. Thank you. Obilash Tripura.
I will directly read the memorandum that we are submitting. June 13, 2007, Canberra, Australia. To the Honourable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina MP, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Prime Minister Office, CHTIJAA, Dhaka. Through the Bangladesh High Commission in Canberra, 57 Kolgua Circuit, O'Malley, ACT 2606, Australia. Subject: arson of Longudu indigenous village on 2 June 2017. Dear Prime Minister, we, the undersigned citizens of Bangladesh and Australia, are concerned about the 2nd June arson attack on over 200 houses of the indigenous Jumbo villages, Tintila, Baittapara, Katoltola and Manikbari Chora at Longudu Upazela, Rangamati by state-sponsored settlers with the support of Bangladesh military and Bangladesh police. A 70-year-old Bunebala Chakma was reported burned alive, while many are still missing. Hundreds, including children and the elderly, are without food and shelter in this time of the rainy season. Background: newspapers reported that on Thursday, 1st of June 2017, the dead body of a Longudu settler, Muhammad Nurul Islam, was found in the 4 mile area of Diginala Upazela, Khagrasari district. Fearing for their security, some indigenous representatives of Longudu met with the local military and civil administrators, including Longudu Zone Commander of the Bangladesh Army, Lieutenant Colonel Abdul Alim Chowdhury, and officer in charge of Longudu Police Station, Mominul Islam. Instead of taking any preventive action, these two officers allegedly made provocative speeches to the mass gathering of the settlers on 2nd June. Looting and arson of the most villages occurred even after the imposition of Section 144 at 12 noon on 2nd June. Newspaper sources and the police report confirmed that the mob was armed with knives and sticks, and that some of them had patrol, indicating that it was a pre-planned attack. Independent investigation needed. We urge the government to carry out an impartial judicial investigation into both the killing of Muhammad Nurul Islam and the subsequent violence against indigenous villagers, including the role of the security forces, in order to bring the perpetrators to justice. Over the last 2 decades, on many occasions, the settlers have attacked Jumbo villages following the death of settler. The security forces and the local administration, either through direct involvement or tacit support, have left innocent Jumbos without adequate protection from those kind of violence attacks. We are also concerned about the assault by security forces on peacefully indigenous demonstration in the CHT, including the 7th June attack and arrest of Hill Women Federation's protesters of Khagrasari, who were protesting against the Longudu arson and demanding the arrest of the abductors of Hill Women Federation leader Kalpana Chakma on 12 June 1996. We urge the government to take the following measures. Number 1, conduct an impartial judicial investigation of the Longudu arson and bring the perpetrators to justice. Number 2, immediately provide full compensation and rehabilitation for the Longudu arson victims and ensure their safety and security by preventing the recurrence of violence. Number 3, thoroughly investigate and bring perpetrators of violence in the Chittagong Hill Tracts to justice in order to end the culture of impunity of the military, police, BGB, settlers and others. Number 4, stop security forces attacking and arresting peaceful demonstrators, ensuring the right of freedom of peacefully assembly and association in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. Number 5, demilitarize the Chittagong Hill Tracts as per the Chittagong Hill Tracts Accord and fully implement the 20-year-old Chittagong Hill Tracts Accord to achieve a sustainable peace in the region. Yours sincerely, Pranjal Khisa, President, Chittagong Hill Tracts Indigenous Jummo Association Australia, and CC, not in order of precedence. Number 1, Dr. Gohar Rizvi, International Advisor to the Honorable Prime Minister. Number 2, Mr. Bir Bahadur Ushet Singh MP, Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs. Number 3, Mr. Jyotirindo Budipriyo Larma, Honorable Chairman, Chittagong Hill Tracts Regional Council, Rangamati. Number 4, Mr. Ushaton Talukdar MP, Honorable Member of Parliament from the Rangamati Constituency, Bangladesh National Parliament. Number 5, Mr. AKM Shohidul Haq, Honorable Police Inspector General, Bangladesh Police Headquarters, Dhaka. Thank you very much. Just to add on the memo that after the program, we'll, all of us will sign in solidarity after attaching with the memo, and then we'll send memorandum, hand over the memorandum to the Bangladesh High Commission, and the other copy we'll send by fax or by email. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I invite Senator Lisa Singh from the Australian Labour Party to say some words of solidarity. Senator Lisa Singh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I stand with you here today in solidarity for the Jumma people. It is very terrible to hear the continued oppression of the Jumma people that I know has been going for many, many years. But the recent reports that we have all been made aware of the destruction of some 250 homes, if not more, including businesses, that now leaves hundreds and hundreds of people homeless, is indeed horrific and a violation of the human rights of the Jumma people. Amnesty International has estimated there are now 90,000 internally displaced Jumma families. Everyone deserves protection of their government and their police. The Jumma people of Bangladesh need that now more than ever. This conflict has been going on for too long, for far too long. You know that so well. And so these human rights violations must stop. It has now been some 20 years since the Chittagong Hill Tracts Accord that was agreed to, yet many parts of it are still yet to be implemented. The terms of the Chittagong Hill Tracts Accord should be honoured by the Bangladeshi government and those responsible for human rights abuses against the Jumma people that should be themselves brought to justice. If Bangladesh is to truly live up to its democratic promises and ideals, then the perpetrators of these attacks must be held responsible, and Indigenous Jumma people must be protected. So I stand here today in front of Australia's Parliament House to support the human rights of the Jumma people in the hope that this awful, horrific situation for your people comes to an end.
Thank you so much. Senator Lisa Singh, thanks from everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita, for
See you soon.
having me and organising. Well done.
We'll be in touch. Yes. And we have actually some wonderful message from Bangladesh too. You know, there is big support from a large section of Bangladeshi Bengali community in Bangladesh against this, they are standing against this violation and talking telling the government to stop these atrocities. There have been many demonstrations. There have been many personal support. One of these things I want to mention that one woman of 70 years old, she saw her wheelchair burning with her house as she could crawl in the bush for safety, and learning that a very generous Bengali man from Dhaka, he actually sent a wheelchair for her. So this kind of very this kind of generosity, support in national level, in personal level, in organization level are coming, and we also have many here today, And I want to introduce now Shahadat Manik from Free Australia. Before, I think we probably move then. If we don't have time, we'll move to Parliament. Sorry. We still have time. Yes, please. Shahadat Manik.
Bangladeshi Australian, Bangladeshi community that is helping.
Okay, yeah. And there is to hold this demonstration, we have big support from Bangladeshi Australian Bengali communities, and from different sector, from different level, organization and individual levels. Thank you very much.